Want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Sorry, I wasn't going to broadcast today because I had a conflict in scheduling with my guests, and so I forgot to post that the show was canceled. But I've been getting so many messages about an incident that occurred in Jonesboro. Police officers roughed up a young man. So we're going to talk about that. And also, I'm going to extend this time to you all to speak about what's on your mind. So this is testify session as well. So please step to the mic and testify. Okay? Be back in a little bit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. As I stated earlier, that I was not going to broadcast because there was some conflict in the scheduling with my guests. And so I forgot to post that I will be canceling the show today. But due to the fact that I have been getting so many posts about an incident that occurred in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We will show that um, that video right now, and as you can see on my crawler down there, you know, a question is being asked. Excuse me, which simply say, you know, um, did the police officers, Jonesboro police officer, did Jonesboro police officers commit excessive physical force? What I meant to put, or was it justified? You know, we're going to talk about that a little bit. And like I say, if there's any other thing that you want to talk about, we're not going to be long because, as I say, I wasn't going to broadcast. But if there's any other thing that you would like to talk about, please do, uh, speak. I don't have my speaker system set up. I was going to say you can call in, but I don't have my speaker set up right now. But anyway, let's go and play this video right quick of this incident that occurred in Jonesboro, and then we'll come back and we'll speak on that as well as um, allow you to speak on whatever uh, issue that you may have that you feel you want to use this time to give your testimony. Okay, so let's go up here and play this video right quick for you to go ahead and start this show. Okay, so let's do that now.
He's 18 years old. Are you his mom or daddy?
Nope.
Any of y'all?
No,
then it ain't your business. It don't matter. He's over 18. He's a big boy.
Where are they taking him right now?
Big boy. None of your business.
Where are they taking him right
None of
now?
your business. None of your business. None of your business.
What did he do though? We want to know what he did. We want to know what he did. We want to know why. So we can't know what happened?
Why do you?
Where's he headed right now?
Hurry up, put your hands behind your back.
Hurry up, put your fucking hands behind your back.
Bro, I got that on video.
Back up. I got it on video.
Get out.
Hurry up, put your hands behind your back.
Bro.
I got it. Put your hands behind your back.
I'm back
Put your right hand behind your back now.
Well, hey, chill. We'll take him to court. Just chill out. Relax. We will take him to... We'll take him to court. You're good, bro. Hey. No, hey, just be quiet. We'll take him to court.
You ain't worried about your bitch ass.
Hey, Nick, you be quiet. They don't know who I am. We'll take him to court.
No, there's no.
We'll take him to court. Don't say another word. They don't know who I am. Don't say another word. Hey,
I ain't worried about you.
Hold still.
Hey, I'm not resisting you, dumb motherfucker.
Can we get the name and badge number?
Quit. Don't say a fucking word.
Don't say a word. I ain't worried about you.
Don't say a fucking word.
I ain't worried about you.
I'm not worried about you.
I'll come get you.
Sure.
Hey, give me your fucking badge number in your name.
Now we started that a little late, but that was the video, the incident that occurred over in Jonesboro. So, just to start it at the beginning, which is where we're at now, we're going to play this one more time, okay? And we're going to come back and we're going to discuss it. So let's go ahead and play it one more time, all right?
61. My name's right there.
Fucking fish.
Yeah.
Bet. That's what's up.
Sir, bro, hell no.
Back up.
Why y'all arresting him?
Why are you arresting? It's nobody's business.
It's our business.
No, it ain't. You want to go to jail?
Sir,
No.
Okay, because he's 18 years old. Are you his mom or daddy?
Nope.
Any of y'all?
No.
Then it ain't your business. It don't matter. He's over 18. He's a big boy.
Where are they taking him right
He's a
now?
big boy. None of your business.
Where are they taking him right
None of
now?
your business. None of your business. None of your business.
What did he do though? We want to know what he did. We want to know what he did. We want to know why. So we can't know what happened?
Why do you?
Where's he headed right now?
Hurry up, put your hands behind your
For
back.
what? Hurry up, put your fucking hands behind your back.
Bro, I got that on video. I got it on video.
Back up. I got it. I got it on video. I got it on video.
Get out.
Turn up, put your hands behind your back.
Bro,
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm back there.
I'm not.
Well, hey, chill. We'll take him to court. We'll take him to court. Shut up. It's relax. We will take him to. We'll take him to court. We'll take him to court. You're good, bro.
Fucking drive, you fucking white person, freak.
Hey,
Bitch ass nigga.
no, hey, just be quiet. We'll take him to court.
I ain't worried about your bitch ass.
Hey, Nick, you be quiet.
Wait.
They don't know who I am. We'll take him to court.
No, there's no.
We'll take him to court. Don't say another word. They don't know who I am.
Hey,
Don't say another word. Hey.
Hey, I ain't worried about you.
hold still.
Hey, I'm not resisting you, dumb motherfucker.
Can we get the name and badge number?
Quit.
Don't say a fucking
Quit.
word.
Quit.
Don't say a word.
I ain't worried about you.
Don't say a fucking word.
I ain't worried about you. I'm not worried about you.
I'll come get you.
Sure.
Hey, give me your fucking badge number in your name.
13.
Okay. That was the video. That was an incident that occurred over in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We'll say this incident here is somewhat different for a change. What I mean by that, I think it's fair to say that for the most part, when we see these incidents, it normally is a person of color, and it don't end well. Okay, and so here we see something different. Now what we're going to be discussing, which the question is down there: do you consider the conduct of these police officers? Do you consider this conduct justified, or did they go a little bit too far? Was this excessive force? Okay. Now, the reason I'm showing this is because, there's been times where I've received private messages, from a few white people, some being critic of me, indicating why don't I ever show cases to where the police is treating them wrong. This one white fellow indicated to me, he said, we need help too, Mr. Hollis. Is that the only somebody that you help is just black people? And anyone that know me, that's the furthest from the truth. Whenever I see an incident, don't matter if it's a black person who's assaulting a white person unjustly, I call it out, and I have. And so you saw the video. And so the question is, again, was this incident justified, or was it excessive police force or conduct? And so before you answer that question, though, I want to put something up that I believe that the police officers is going to use justifying their conduct. Okay, I'm going to put this up right now on the screen. And this is what I believe that the police officers is going to use to justify their conduct. Let me go over here and find it. Okay. Let me just find it right now. And maybe you can tell me exactly if you think that this is something that they will use. Okay, here we go. Now, this is a Arkansas state statute. Okay. 5-54-102. What are we talking about? We're talking about, this is when one obstructing government operation. Some of you might have heard of that word. Some of you might have been charged with this particular violation. But this simply occurs by using or threatening to use physical force. Is a Class A misdemeanor. Now, this is probably what I believe the statute that they're going to use to justify using physical force on this young man. Okay. And the reason I say that is because I don't know if you all heard it. That's why I wanted to play it again. I want you all to tell me, was there anything that you could hear or you could make out uh, that caused the officer to turn around real quickly and walk back to the young man, telling him to put his effing hands behind his back, that he was under arrest? So, did you hear anything that would justify this police officer uh, doing what he did? Did you hear anything? I played the tape for you, the video, excuse me. I played it twice for you. So now the question becomes, can the police officer, can they arrest you because they don't like what you're saying? You know, I'm not an attorney, but I would say it all depends on what you say. Now, if you're just mocking the police, calling them stupid, or, you know, saying that, you know, they bona fide cops, they don't know what they're doing, you may want to call them sometime, you know, if it's a case that involving race, you may want to say, you know, you're a racist cop or this, that, and other. Can you be arrested for your speech? Like I say, I'm not an attorney, you know, but if I had to give my opinion, you know, for all those things I just named, you know, for us mocking the police officers, I wouldn't think that uh, you would be arrested for that. And you certainly should not be assaulted using excessive force, as we saw right here. But the question remains, what did this young man say, or if he said anything that would warranted the police officer quickly turning around, walking up to him, telling him to put his effing hands behind his back, that he was under arrest? So I want you all to talk to me for a little bit. We're not going to be long, okay? So again, you can be arrested for your speech with one exception. And then, you know, I read you that statute. Where's that statute at? Let's go back to it. Here's the statute. You know, you can be considered obstructing government operation, what they call it. In other words, you interfering, whether it's by speech or whether it's by, you know, in some physical way. You obstructing the police officers from making an arrest in this particular case. All right. And you can do that, as I indicated, it could be sometime by speech. And that speech must be threatening. You done made some threatening remarks to the police officers. Okay. Or if you touch the police officer in any way, you know, you don't have to hit them. You know, if you so much, you know, tap the police officer on the shoulder, telling him that that ain't right, the police officer actually they can charge you, because again, you interfering with them doing their job. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, that you got to use your head now. Although the police officer cannot arrest you for your speech. That's my comment. That's not no legal advice. That's just my personal opinion, with one exception. If you're interfering with the police officer, obstructing their space, and sometimes you can get too close, which make them feel uncomfortable, and they ask you to move away, and you choose not to move away, then that could warrant to you being arrested. You know, your speech, you know, if you're making threatening remarks, you know, something would be threatening like, uh, you know, you're going to get your so-and-so beat if you touch me like that. You know, so now it's more like you challenging the police officer that if they touch you, you're going to commit some, or you're gonna let them know that you don't touch me. In other words, you know, you're gonna have to. I mean, you want to tangle with them, you know. But we did have a case here in Osceola to where a young man, uh, you know, had an encounter with the police officer, and it was just only speech. Although this young man didn't state that what he was personally going to do to the police officers, But what he stated was that, in so many words, that the police officer need to be very careful because, it's possible that it could be some fool out there that might want to do the police officers harm. That's the statement that was made. There was nothing, to my knowledge, that would indicate that the young man indicated that he made threatening remarks to the police officer in terms of what he would do. And so that's the difference. But you have to know, you know, where that line is at, because if the police officer, they get a word, they get a note, they get two other words called, if a police officer reasonably or sometime they knowingly believe that you is interfering with them doing their job, all you have to do is have a reasonable uh, belief that you are interfering with them doing their job, you possibly can be arrested. So let's keep in mind, folks, that when a police officer is making an arrest, um, watch your speech. And you definitely don't want to get so close to the police officers that you may inadvertently bump them or have to put your hand on them to keep them from falling back on you. Uh, and they could turn around and they could accuse you of assault. So be very careful, okay? So again, I'm going to go to the board to see if anyone got anything that they want to share as to uh, an encounter that they might have had with the police officers, or it could be something else. So let's go to the board right now and let's see what we have over here. Okay? Let's see what we have. All right. It's a well, this is just a comment. Let me see. This is it's my sister here. She say when I saw that. Oh, so I guess you're just making a statement. When I saw that. Okay, y'all talk to me. Was it justified or was it excessive force? Okay? Talk to me. All right, we have another one. Same sister. That's right. Take them to court. Okay. Now, again, if this person, because they was indicating to the young man, don't say another word, that they was filming it, and that he suggested that take them to court, or we gonna take them to court. So again, did you see anything there that will say give this particular individual um, any type of probable cause to uh, say that this police officer did something wrong, that he should be cited for excessive force, physical assault, or what have you, and that is this a civil litigation? Is it both? Is it criminal and civil? What you say? Talk to me. Testify, people. Come on, talk to me. Testify. All right. Okay, this is my sister Mary Frazier. How you doing, my sister? She said Jonesboro police throw him down hard. I didn't see what he did wrong. Make them throw him on that hard cement. So my sister is saying that she didn't see anything he did wrong. But the question is, did you hear anything? What did he say that caused that police officer to quickly turn around, walk up to him, and told him that he was placing him under effing arrest? Not what you see or what you saw, but did you hear anything? Or was the officer just frustrated because he got tired of the guy just bumping his gums, running his mouth? So what say you? Let's see if we got another one. Not going to be long, y'all, because like I said, I wasn't going to even broadcast tonight, but I want to see what you all are saying. It's my brother there, Brother Vic. There was a situation that involved someone that you know and I know Same situation that happened in Osceola. But the only thing with that situation that happened in Osceola is that the comments was to give somewhat of a warning to the police officers to be careful, because there could be someone out there that may do them harm. Not that fact that the individual is going to do them harm, but someone out there in that crowd, some nutball or whatever, may do something to the police officers. That's the way I interpret it. Maybe the cops interpret it wrong. Again, we're talking about what one reasonably believe or what one normally believe. Okay. So thank you for the tuning in, my brother. Uh, okay, my sister says she didn't see nothing. Now, I don't know if she's meaning see or heard. Which one is it? Or is it both? You didn't see nothing, you didn't hear nothing, or is it one or the other? Talk to me, my sister. All right, who else we got? Um, all right. It got this Vic again. That's what I want to know. What did he say for the officer to turn around like that? We have a freedom of speech. Exactly. You do have freedom of speech. And the police officers, I will say this here, that they go through a lot of training, because it is expected that when you get a great number of people in a particular area, they also should have training in what is called crowd control. That it be a parade, something, some event, some function. In some cases, it could be a riot, and so they go through this different training. In that training, how they interact with the public, they go through that training. And in this training, it is also an expectation that there will be someone in that crowd that will make some derogatory statement to them. May call him like I say, a bona fide cop. It may be one cop out there may have a weight problem. They may call him fat. Okay. Maybe one cop out there look like bona fide. They may call him goofy. Okay. And so for speech like that, I wouldn't think that warranted the police officer to arrest you. And as I say, certainly it don't wanted them, give them justification. I'm getting tongue tied. Give them justification to physically assault you. I wouldn't think so. But like I say, I'm not an attorney. So don't take this here. You go out there and you say something to the police and say, well, I heard Tony Hollis said that they couldn't do this. No, Tony Hollis telling you that the word reasonable and what one normally believe, what is to be perceived or what one has heard. Okay, so use common sense. Every cop may not want to do the right thing. You got some cops that just a hothead. They just don't like you bumping your gums. You bump your gums and they get tired of hearing it. They'll turn around and they'll do what you just saw. Put you on that concrete ground or whatever. So again, use your head. Okay. So where we at? Where are we? Okay. Now, this is my brother. Used to be a cop, Clifford Allen. Hopefully he can weigh in on this here. Speech is protected by the First Amendment under the Constitution. Correct. If that speech is a threat, let me see. Speech is protected by the First Amendment under the Constitution. If that speech is a threat, loud or disruptive. Okay, now, again, let me go back to this statute. It's Arkansas statute as well. And First Amendment speech is corrected. I mean, it is true. It is protected. It's a protected speech. Okay, but again, let me go back to it. Now, this is the statute. You all look it up and you read this here. Arkansas. This is the statute right here. Okay, 54102. It says obstructing government operation. Of course, there's many other things that I can read, but it got this is I meant to put on there that 102 uh, actually is section B. Do I have that in there? I don't have the B in there. This is 554 102. It'll be section B, where it reads obstructing government operation by using or threatening to use physical force is a class A misdemeanor. Okay. Let me just go ahead and read it A to you. I'm reading this here in my hand right now. Okay. It's a knowingly obstruct, impair, or hinder the performance of any government function. Two, knowingly refuse to provide information requested by an employee or a governmental agency related to the investigation of a case brought under Title 4 D of the Social Security Act, 42 USC Section 551, and is the physical custodian of the child in the case. It's talking about child custody case right there, okay? You refusing to give information, social security numbers, and blah, 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 blah. Failure to submit, this number 3, failure to submit to a court order, okay? Scientific testing of a non-invasive procedure to determine the paternity. You know, young man don't want to show up and take a blood test to see if that baby heals, okay? He want to stay in home. He want to show them that he ain't going down there. Well, you has just committed interfering with government operation, and if you done been subpoenaed, that's another charge. You know, you violated the subpoena relating to where we at? Paternity of a child in a case brought under Title, again, Section 4-D of the Social Security Act, again, 42 USC, Section 651, or last one, falsely identify himself or herself to a law enforcement officer or a code enforcement officer. Okay, it ain't just a police officer. That word code enforcement officer, although they are a somewhat a branch, if you will, of the police department. Okay, if they ask you for your identification and you give the wrong information, interfering with government operation, you know, you can go to jail for that. I know some of y'all would get pulled over, and you know, it could be your buddy sitting over there on the other side, and the cop asks him what's his name. Now he's just a passenger; he's not driving. But even the passenger on the other side, you know, I don't know if reasonable suspicion may come into uh, uh, to play here in terms of uh, the passenger. But if that passenger give false information, he or she can be cited for interfering with government operations. Okay, and so there's a few other things here, but I won't read that. But you get where I'm coming from. Okay, so thank you, brother Click. Appreciate it. Where's another one we got here? Let me go up here. Go back to my banner here. Uh-oh. Go back to my banner. Now, where did I? Oh, comments. That's where I need to go. Comments. Okay. Where's my brother at? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Oh, I got that off. Anyway. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's my cuz here. The only thing I heard was them asking questions. What harm was that? Again, I heard the questions, this, that, and other. I heard them also giving the guy that they had on the ground. One lady, she even walked up to where the officers at, and she never should have been allowed to get that close. Don't y'all try that. When they got that young man on the ground, and she probably was inches, I don't know, 6 to 9 inches away, she was speaking to that young man, telling him don't say a effing word. She was actually encroaching or invading the space of those police officers. She could have got arrested. That's interfering with government operations. She could have got arrested. When they tell you to step back, that means you got to stand back a reasonable amount of distance. Treat it like COVID, 6 feet away. just to be on the safe side. Treat it like COVID. Give yourself and officers 6-foot spacing between you and the police officers. That's too close. She could have been arrested, y'all. Don't try that. They got somebody on the ground, you walking up there, you know, you very well can get your brains blowed out or throw you on the concrete, and now you going to jail with him. So you got to use your head, okay? Although we do have a protected First Amendment right, free speech that is, but you got some officers that might not even know nothing about the Constitution. Okay, so I just want you not to be harmed. I guess what I'm trying to say, all right? But again, it's not what one see, but what did you hear? Because that's what we're talking about. We definitely didn't see anything, at least I didn't, what he might have, for as a move, making a move to the officer or throw something at the officer. But I heard speech. I heard speech as well. All right. Okay. This is your opinion, right? Or is it the law? It's my opinion in terms of, I'm glad you asked me that. It's my opinion as to what I believe that would give grounds to the police officers to make arrests. As I had stated, if this young man threatening the police officer, in terms of doing this police officer bodily harm or something like that, then yes, that warranted an arrest because he's actually saying what he or she would do to the police officer if the police officer do them like that. I wish you would do me like that. I'll so-and-so bust your blah, 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 blah. I wish you would do me like that. You do me like that, I'll do this. You know how some folks talk out there. Those are the kind of examples I'm talking about. When you talk like that, number one, you already done disrespected the police officer, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that. They understand that they're going to be somewhat mean things is going to be said about them, all right? But you got to understand that when you're saying something that can be considered a threat, it's what the cop reasonably believe. If he or she believe in a split second, you always hear that word split second. If they believe that you are about to do them harm and they hear it one time, they ain't going to give you a second chance to say nothing else. They're going to arrest you. I know it's tight. Sometimes it's tight, but it's right. So use your head. Okay. Another question. That was a fact, Tony. I know, right? If you know that or not, but you said that correct. Well, thank you, my brother. I'm hoping that you're pretty much picking up what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give what will justify the police officer, taking action like they did, as opposed to a police officer being wrong just because the particular person might have made a derogatory statement about them. Now, that right there, I think free speech is protected. All right, because they go through a lot of training, having the expectation that there will be people out there that will make derogatory statements about them, and that speech is protected. All right. I have a situation, but I'd rather keep to myself until further notice. Exactly. Let's keep it up on the let's just keep it locked down right now, for a better way of stating. Let's just keep it locked down. My sister coming back. I don't think it was justified. However, like you stated, what will be their justification? I'm thinking this statute that I read, I think there's going to be an allegation made that the young man made a threatening remark to the officers. Now, the question is also, we didn't see that. Did somebody throw something and hit the officer? Did that happen? But still, the officer had his back turned, so he couldn't have seen who threw what if something was thrown. Okay? So, although it looked bad, ladies and gentlemen, Although it looked bad. If there's some other video footage somewhere that show something was done um, that we didn't see, then uh, it could be in favor for the young man. Then again, it could be in favor for the police officer. We don't know, and so I imagine they yet conducting an investigation to see what other videos are out there. Uh, I didn't hear him say anything. Another one didn't hear him say anything. Okay. uh, why he couldn't just arrest the kid? Well, again, the adrenaline was pumping, rushing, and what have you. A lot of people bumping their gums. They having to deal with the guy on the ground. He cussing them out, and he called them all kind of effing words. I mean, he was really cussing them. He was cussing them. He might have made a couple of derogatory statements to the officers as well, and so, uh, a lot going on, and don't know how long this police officer been on the force. He could be new. Then again, he could just be a hothead, you know, just don't like folks bumping their gums, talking back to him. So we got to consider that as well. All right. Okay. How you doing, Mrs. Rump? That's one of my strong sisters there in the community. Like Vic on the road. I'm asking, do they take stress tests when they be in training? I'm asking. They should. For those of you who don't know what a stress test is, what my brother's referring to, I imagine Clifford Allen, who uh, used to be a police officer. A stress test is something like, just to put it in layman terms, they go through these little mock situations or hypothetical situations, the what if situation. What if somebody, Tony, call you the N word? I'm a police officer and I got to make an arrest. That is a male or a female. And they are attacking me because I'm an African American, calling me the N word, calling me dumb, stupid, just using all kind of words. You know, they trying to see, where are you up here? You know, where are you up here? The police officer, where are you up here? Can you tolerate derogatory terms being made to you without you doing something that will be deemed as uh, breaking policy, uh, committing a criminal act? In some cases, both. And so you go through a lot of stress tests to try to get you prepared, that when you especially go out there, sometimes it ain't got to be crowd control, but crowd control is mostly where you got a lot of things going on, a lot of people talking, a lot of people doing things, and police officers can get hurt, based on so many people out there. All right. And so that's for one reason they tell you to step back, don't want you to encroach upon their space. They don't know what you're going to do. So I'm just being fair. Police officers have a job to do. And if you encroach upon their space, and then, you may have a few of them, like I say, may be new. If they're a new person on the job, that they be a male or female, that's the most dangerous cop that you want to make feel uncomfortable, because I imagine they scared. They out in the field now, they're probably just fresh out of police academy. And so, again, use your head. Every cop is not a 5, 10, 15-year police officer. It could be fresh meat, as they call it, fresh meat, you know. So just, again, use your head. All right. Where we at? Where we at? Uh, I'm gonna jump around here, y'all. See if I can get someone. Um, I feel as long as I am not threatening them, what can they do? Like I said, these police use their authority too loosely. Now that does happen, you know. You know, in all uh, what's the word I'm using? I want to say, in all fairness, let me just say that a police officer should not commit misconduct just because they don't like your speech. I agree. As long as you're not threatening them and you're just using speech, that should not be grounds for them to arrest you, assault you, or whatever. I think then it goes to show the lack of tolerance that the police have uh, for derogatory statements being made toward him or her. All right. Um, Again, I feel as long as I'm not threatening them or gets the same. Um, oh wow. Okay. This brother Rozelle used to be a state conference president down Little Rock. All right. Um, and so another one. We first had Clifford Allen. Now we got Brother Rozelle. Uh, he was a police officer for very many years. Let me just say that. I don't know the quite number. But let's read his statement. Just because we can say something doesn't mean we should say something. Great. That's good advice. You know, we'll have some. I'm gonna finish reading it. Sometimes it's best just to shut up. Okay. It could help your case, and most certainly, it can cause you not to be harmed or killed. I know some of us, we feel like we got to let the police officer know. We got to let them know you violated my rights. I got rights. You can't do me like that. You outnumbered. You got 4 or 5 officers around you, and you bumping your gums. It don't take but one hot head, to have enough of your mouth. And now we reading about you in the newspaper. Lord forbid, hopefully we won't be going to your funeral. So sometimes it just pays just to shut up. Be quiet. It don't mean you're a punk. It don't mean you're a coward. It just means that you're using good common sense. I'm outnumbered. If it turn into a physical altercation or whatever, you already know who's gonna win that. Okay? If they beat you up and kill you, dead man can't enjoy his money. You just don't made your family members rich. And hopefully you like them family members. Some family members you don't like. You get killed, they're going to enjoy that money on you. All right. So sometimes it's best just to shut up. I agree. Be quiet. And if we do exercise our First Amendment right to free speech, and we piss off the popo, the police, y'all, that's what he was referring to when he say popo. In the process, we must be prepared to deal with the immediate consequences and seek civil relief later. What he's saying is that, in so many words, when you piss off the popo, you got to be willing to deal, especially if he's a hothead, like I say. You got to be willing to deal with what's coming after that. Okay? When they put hands on you, it might not even be right. But let's get real, y'all. There are some police officers out there that don't like certain people bumping their gums. And they don't like you trying to tell them what's the law. Because for the most part, hell, they might not know the law. Now you calling them a fool. That's the way they interpret it. You're calling them a fool. So again, I agree. Sometimes it just pays just to shut up. You got a case, go to court and win. You're alive. And if it's a civil case, and you don't prove your case, you're 50% more believable that it did happen rather than didn't happen, then you get a chance to enjoy your money along with your family members, even the ones you don't like. Okay, so use your head. Okay. Again, I like that advice. Thank you, Brother Rozelle. And who was this here? We got Mrs. That's Miss Williams. How you doing, Miss Williams? My day is fine. Thanks a lot. It's Brother Rozelle again. It say, even if the arrest was justified, officers should use only the force that is necessary to effect the arrest. That's very true. Anytime they use more of force than is needed, that's when it becomes excessive force. They can use physical force. Okay, police officers can do that. And many people think that when you spit on a police officer or when you hit the police officer, I know it don't look good, but just like you got a right to defend yourself, police officers got a right to defend themselves. You can't just spit and hit a police officer and think that, like Brother Roselle said, you're gonna have to be willing to deal with the consequences. Because when you throw a punch, it may be one coming right back at you. And when you get a jury that sees something like that, the jury thinking, what would I do in a situation like that? They may be very more sympathetic toward the police officer, more understanding, more sympathetic, whatever the word we choose to use. Okay, but that is so true. The person can be guilty of the offense, and the officer could still be guilty of violating the constitutional rights by the use of excessive force. Exactly. Anytime a police officer use more force again that is necessary, just like this last shooting that we saw, I forget what place that was. Many of you saw it, to where there was 90 rounds. I think it was 7 or 8 police officers, where they literally pump 60 bullets into the one body of a man. It don't even look like he weighed 165 pounds, maybe 155 at the most. They put 60 bullets into his body, unarmed. They said they might have, how they say, they might have saw a gun, or I don't know, he pointed a gun, or I did hear him, they say, I think he had a ski mask on or whatever, but they pumped 60 rounds in him. They shot 90, I believe. And every bullet, and I'm sure the police officers who's looking on now, for every bullet that was fired, you have to give justification for that bullet. You can't just fire your gun and you can't justify why you fired 6 shots when 1 shot would have took him down, or why you fired 10 shots when at the most 2 shots would have took him down. So now you're getting into they treating you indifferent as they would have, say, a white person. We see so many times to where even in mass shootings, the shooter who's being white is arrested without, being harmed. But this young man, 8 police officers, pumped 60 bullets, shot 90, pumped 60 bullets into his body. That definitely is a case that I would say is more force than needed, which would make it to be excessive force. Okay. That's Miss Speechum just saying hello. Okay, y'all, we're at the bottom, and that is it. Appreciate you all tuning in. We on the hour. I'm doing good. Got 7 minutes left. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I just wanted, I received that, so many posts today about this particular incident that happened in Jonesboro. This is about what, in the last 12 months, this is what, about 3-4 cases. Now, I will say that this case right here, it being the victim being white, we did have a young man, I won't call his name, but he was caught up in a situation like that. I think it might have been a traffic stop, to where a traffic stop turned into what I saw was unnecessary excessive force. I mean, we always talk about using what we just stated about not using more force than necessary. In some incidents, no force is required. He was unarmed. He was cooperating. And it was the officer, who escalated the situation, to the next level to make it appear that the young man was not cooperating or was resisting. So therefore, he used that as justification to deploy his taser. And so, again, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to come on and speak about that because uh, some of us can see something and think that it's either okay. In some cases, it's not okay. But what I'm saying is that let's use common sense, okay? Use common sense. And you must realize that there are some police officers that is say to be a public servant, if you will, protecting and serving. A lot of these police officers are different in how they do their job. So just keep that in mind, all right? That's all I had, ladies and gentlemen. We up on the hour. And I want to say I will be bringing my guests. Hopefully we may come back Sunday. Since we didn't come on today, maybe may do a special broadcast Sunday. And hopefully if we do it, I'm gonna quit telling y'all 6 o'clock because so many things come up, right? But I will say this: I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna try to keep it to 30 minutes. So between 6 o'clock and 6:30. If I don't come on 6:30, then 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna cancel the show. All right, how about that? But mostly when I have a guest, I'm coming on anyway because now there may be some technicalities trying to get the quality of the video or the audio. Those some things that we might be working on, which may cause the delay. But if I do have a guest coming on, we do try to start on time. Okay. So I want to say, may you all have a blessed remaining evening. It's still early. And I will say again, I will be doing a special show, hopefully Sunday. So please come. Is there any announcement I got to give? Is there any announcement that I have to give before I close out? Look like we got someone else that done tune in. Oh, it's Miss Mosley. Yeah, he is a hothead in Jonesboro police. And so I imagine Miss Mosley, I think she living in Jonesboro, if I'm not correct. And so maybe she have some knowledge of this police officer that took that young man down to the concrete. So be careful, you all, okay? Be careful, Jonesboro, Osceola, Blyville, surrounding areas. Use your head when you're coming in contact with a police officer, okay? I don't think there's any other announcements that I have to make, but I will say govern yourself. We're in an election year, okay? Osceola got a crowded field for mayor, as well as Blyville got a crowded field for mayor in the mayor race. Okay, people, make these candidates speak with you, especially Osceola. Those candidates should not just put a picture in the paper or write something in the paper. They should meet you face to face in a public meeting. Well, not meeting, but a townhouse or whatever, town hall, excuse me. There need to be a debate as well, not just a debate, but they need to ask questions of you, not just ask questions of each other. I have the moderator ask questions of both candidates or all candidates, but they need to answer your questions. There need to be a town hall. Force these officials to speak to you, get them on record, make them talk to you as to why your vote should be given to them to serve as the next mayor or whatever other office that they're running for. Okay? Make them talk to you. That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Moser. Oh, yeah, I'm in Osceola. She's still in Osceola. I thought she was in Jonesboro. All right, my sister. Again, catch me. Gonna try to do a special broadcast Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. So please catch me then. I want to thank you all for staying up, speaking with me. And again, that date there is wrong about the next show. Just had to change it around. Please do share all of my videos. Please do go to my page, YouTube page, channel that is, and please do subscribe and please do share. Okay, peace and love. Good night and God bless.